Dear WWE, your lack of creativity sickens me. How many gauntlet matches do we fucking need? Also, I'm not the kind of guy to tell you I told you so, but motherfucker, I told you so months ago. Charlotte possibly taking the SmackDown Live Women's title into a unification match at WrestleMania. This is SmackDown Live right here on Off the Script.
5, delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still didn't. Man, the amount of salt I seen on social media tonight was absolutely fucking sickening. It was sickening. I don't know what I was looking at on social media, man. I seen a bunch of crybabies tonight. Tonight, I think is the first time in forever I could look at every single one of you watching me tonight and I could call you a crybaby. What the fuck are you crying about? Really? I don't know what's worse, man. The fact that people were watching and not using their fucking brain, or the fact that everybody is that fucking stupid. I will take answer B, Mr. Trebek. Or, is the WWE Universe stupid for 500, Alex? Calm the fuck down. We're gonna go over everything tonight here on the podcast. I feel like a broken fucking record. I, tonight, will mention everything that I've mentioned previously in the past. You know what I'm talking about. Why did Charlotte win the SmackDown Live Women's Championship? I'll tell you why. Why did Asuka lose, and what happens to Asuka at WrestleMania? I'll tell you why. What are they doing with the SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw women's titles in the same match? I will tell you why. I don't know why we got another fucking gauntlet match tonight. I am gauntlet matched out of it. They have gauntlet matched us to death on SmackDown Live, to a point I don't want to see any more gauntlet matches ever again. WWE could have done a better job at getting Kofi Kingston into the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, but I got to give them effort for at least making it interesting. They could have definitely done it a little bit better. So we'll go over that as well. Didn't anticipate another gauntlet match. I was expecting something else to happen, which we'll go over today. This is SmackDown Live, right here on Off the Script. I am, of course, JD. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. If you enjoy what you hear and see, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Uploaded the Monday Night Raw review this afternoon. If you guys missed that, it is live on the channel right now. The Monday Night Raw side of WrestleMania is absolutely fucking terrible. Now, it doesn't say that in the thumbnail, otherwise I'd get demonetized, but you understand where I'm coming from. Monday Night Raw and WrestleMania side of things for WrestleMania is just downright disgusting. It's embarrassing. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I mean that in the worst fucking way. So we go over Monday Night Raw and the embarrassment that is 3 hours every Monday night as usual. Go and check it out. Almost 2,000 thumbs up. We had over 25,000 views in less than 8 hours. So needless to say, I should be silent more so on social media. There you go. Go and check that out. Something that I've been waiting for to be announced. Something that I am unbelievably excited about. You guys know that I work with House of Glory, and I am forever grateful to the amazing Red and Brian XL and Anthony Gangone and Big Hodge Media and everybody that I now call family in House of Glory. I've been waiting for this to be announced. And not only could this be, actually I'm expecting Culture Clash to be our big break. You know, a lot of people always praise House of Glory for having that old school mentality of just doing what's right, giving us storyline-driven wrestling and having the wrestling stand out more so than anything else. Fuck this entertainment garbage. That's what House of Glory does. A lot of people call House of Glory a hidden gem in the indie scene, especially on the East Coast. And Culture Clash is going to be streamed on iPay-per-view. It's part of a big bundle for WrestleMania weekend. You guys can go check that out. You're going to get everything, including the New Japan show. You're going to get Impact. You're going to get the Ring of Honor New Japan show, like I mentioned, and everything else that has to do with WrestleMania weekend, bundled in one package. House of Glory is part of that on Fight TV, iPay-per-view. But if Culture Clash is not our big break, this is going to be our big break. Tonight, announced during SmackDown Live, House of Glory versus Impact Wrestling, Sunday, May 5th, at the NYC Arena in Jamaica, Queens, New York. House of Glory and Impact Wrestling present Code Red, a fitting name for the man behind House of Glory, the Amazing Red. And I'm telling you right now, the dream matches that you will see on this show will be absolutely insane. Unbelievable. Now, the only thing I have to find out is if I'm going to be sitting next to Josh Matthews on commentary. I hope not. We'll find out. But anyway, I am fucking super excited about this, and I want to thank all you guys for putting me in this position. Thank you so very much. I will make you proud. And like I said, man, this is only the fucking beginning. This is only the beginning. I have not even scratched the surface yet on where I'm going, where this podcast is going, and where House of Glory is going, man. I can't wait to get back to work for Culture Clash and then Code Red on May 5th, man. And that, honestly, I looked at this, and Sunday, May 5th, that is the weekend of my grandpa's birthday. May 4th is when my grandpa celebrated his day of birth. And I'm going to make him proud on that weekend, man. I can't wait, and it's going to be fucking amazing. Get your t-shirts, man. Bonfire.com, JD's Elite. Link is down in the description of this very video. Go and support and become a part of my Elite Army, man. Exclusively on Bonfire.com. We have blown the numbers away. JD's Negan is now a distant number 2 in sales for the podcast. JD's Elite is now officially the number 1 selling t-shirt for this podcast. Go and get it. Bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206, both on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to show your appreciation through the Patreon page. You guys know the deal with Hooters, man. Hooters, 155 West 33rd Street, New York City, across from Madison Square Garden. That is Friday, April 5th. The official off-the-script meet and greet from 1 to 4 p.m., right before NXT TakeOver New York, where we will, guaranteed, have a new NXT World Champion, either Johnny Gargano, or Adam Cole, baby, is going to be crowned the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion in what I am going to go out there and say will be the best match of the entire year. I firmly believe that. Ricochet and Gargano are my number 1 right now. It will be my number 1. I think Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano are going to take that spot over in New York City, Brooklyn, and the Barclays Center, man. So come on out. Link is down in the comment section if you guys want to RSVP. And come on out at Hooters, right across from Madison Square Garden, the off-the-script meet and greet. Let's get into all the news here, man. We want to start off with the top of the hour. Hour 1, the New Day made their usual ring entrance, and I was excited to see where they followed up after the debacle that was the Gauntlet match last week, in which Kofi Kingston won it and then lost it and buried everybody else along the way. And no, clowns, it wasn't for storyline purposes at all. No reason why Randy Orton lost in the manner that he did. There's no reason why Samoa Joe, who continues to lose going into WrestleMania as United States Champion, should have been put in that position to lose clean to Kofi Kingston, only for Kofi Kingston to lose anyway and not advance, only to advance this week, and it has nothing to do with what he did. Now you see that I'm validated even more for what I thought last week. Just throwing that out there for anybody that wants to argue with my point of view. Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston were in the ring. I was invested here. Xavier says he wanted to be serious. A serious new day is a new day that I like. He said the last few months have been a roller coaster. We went over the Monday Night Raw review and talked about how Monday Night Raw was coasting into WrestleMania. They were not on a roller coaster. Roller coasters are fun. Monday Night Raw is the opposite of that. Big E said they went from hearing New Day sucks to New Day rocks. Xavier thanked all the fans in the WWE Universe. Big E said as a result of the obstacles put in Kofi's way, they are considering walking away. Now, I'm alive. Yes, I am alive, but I am glad that kayfabe is alive. At least somewhat. It may be hanging on for dear life, but some in the community really believe that kayfabe is still alive, and they believe everything that they see on television. Now, we all know that the New Day was not going to quit. We all know that Vince McMahon wasn't going to let the New Day walk away. They'd show up in AEW in a month. Are you fucking kidding me? They would attack the winner of the Bucks Lucha Bros in Las Vegas if Vince just willingly let them walk. Not going to happen. So, for everybody that was thinking that the New Day was legitimately walking out of the WWE, I'm glad that you still believe. Use your heads, please. You got to be smarter than that. You're not 6 years old. Now, if you were 6 years old, I would understand, and I would give you a free buy. But this is coming from adults my age, thinking the New Day is going to legitimately quit the WWE over this nonsense. Big E said, yes, it's tough. They've made a lot of lifelong friends around here. They showed fans shouting no or doing the Daniel Bryan no movement. Xavier said it's been difficult to watch how poorly Kofi Kingston has been treated. He says it's not just recently, it's been for the last 11 years. Big E said he exudes the power of positivity. No one in this company, more so than Kofi, exudes the power of positivity. Xavier said the man who can answer these questions that they have tonight is Vince McMahon. So he called Vince McMahon, did Xavier, to the ring. Vince McMahon walked out. Business picked up. The overall vibe of this segment was enhanced by Vince McMahon coming on out. I may hate him. I may hate the way he does things. I may hate the way he operates and thinks. But when Vince McMahon walks out, you know that something is about to happen. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, being that everybody's getting their fucking names chopped in half. Rowan walked out wearing a Children of Bodom t-shirt. Don't like Children of Bodom, man. I was not happy with the choice of t-shirt and band this week. Try again next week. Bryan told him not to placate the fragile egos of the New Day. I LOL'd. He should let them quit, says Bryan, if that's what they want. Bryan said New Day are just a stale novelty act that Vince McMahon himself created. He said that he could replace them with 3 men from NXT and call them Fresh Afternoon. And they'll throw waffles into the crowd and they'll be more popular than the New Day ever was. I would like them already just for their fucking opinion on breakfast foods. Waffles are greater than pancakes, clowns. Get it through your skulls. So they already got a fan in me if that's the gimmick that they want to do. Now the question is, who from NXT could play Xavier, Kofi, and Big E? I don't want to find out. But at this point, I'm thinking to myself, Daniel Bryan is fucking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I laughed my ass off at that segment. He said, once again, Kofi is nothing more than a B-plus player. Bryan said Kofi lost last week, and he lost at Fastlane, and he lost at the Chamber. He told him not to let the parasites in the audience get in his head. Bryan talking to McMahon. He said that he has been right about Kofi every step of the way, and his instincts that Kofi is nowhere near championship material have been 100% correct. Xavier said Bryan has turned into every single thing he used to fight against. The reality is you turned into a hypocrite, says Xavier Woods, and that's exactly why you're out there right now. Vince, at this point, was done hearing everybody bickering, told everybody to shut up. Then Vince, and I LOL'd at this, mocked the New Day, just in a kind of way that Vince would do, mock them. You ain't going nowhere. Where the fuck are you going to go? You're using this against me, and this tactic is not going to work because we all know that you're not going to go anywhere. He says he just isn't sure whether Big E and Xavier are a B-plus tag team. He says he gets the respect that they have for Kofi. He asks whether they can put Kofi into the championship match at WrestleMania. Now, at this point, Daniel Bryan tried to stop Vince McMahon. He told Kofi he won't have any more opportunities to get into WrestleMania, but Big E and Xavier can try and win a tag team gauntlet match, and then Kofi, if they win, gets into WrestleMania. Big E took Vince at his word for some reason and nodded yes towards Xavier Woods. Bryan protested from the stage, and this was the way the first segment of SmackDown Live started everything off. This segment was great. I loved everything about this segment, from the seriousness of the New Day, from Daniel Bryan coming out using words that nobody really uses in their everyday life, talking about you can go to NXT and get 3 guys from NXT and call them Fresh Afternoon, and instead of throwing pancakes, they could throw waffles, to Vince McMahon coming on out, mocking the New Day, just pretty much throwing it back in their face, telling them that you aren't going to quit. You were never going to quit, so cut the shit. Everything up until that point was fucking great. They had me at the edge of my seat, and all they had to do was have the New Day come out there and legitimately quit. Quit. Take off their gear, take off their jackets, leave Lucille in the ring, quit. And then Vince lobbying, where are you going? Where are you going? And then have everybody else come on out and quit after them. Meaning Jeff, Matt, both Hardys, Ricochet, Aleister Black, everybody in the back that's been supporting Kofi Kingston, come on out and quit. Now, that's not my original idea. I didn't come up with that idea. I actually seen that on social media from an ex-WWE creative writer. He mentioned that the only logical thing here is for the New Day to quit after teasing it all week, and then they do quit, everybody else quits, Vince would be forced to put Kofi Kingston into the main event of WrestleMania, or the WWE Championship, rather, at WrestleMania, because he won't have a WrestleMania if everybody on SmackDown Live quit. So he would be forced to put Kofi Kingston in that position. Instead, WWE gave us a storyline that was clearly written by a fucking 3-year-old and gave us another gauntlet match because they don't know when to quit. When something works, WWE fucking beats you to death with it. Now the gauntlet match is in the grave. Every time we see a gauntlet match now, we're going to have this, oh my God. It's this sigh of displeasure that we're going to see, or we're going to get, when a gauntlet match is announced. No more. No more. I love the gauntlet match, and the gauntlet match was on its way to legitimately being a staple on WWE television every year around the Elimination Chamber. Because it would be a great way, or it is a great way rather, to get everybody involved in the chamber and set out who's in last and who's in first, leaving the unpredictability through numbers 2 to 5. I enjoyed that. And they've done a great job with that last year, and they did a great job with it this year. This is how this entire Kofi Kingston situation got started in the first place, through the gauntlet match. And he replaced Mustafa Ali, and he took the ball, and he ran with it for an hour, really showing us what he's made of. Now, I don't really give a shit about a gauntlet match, so when I heard this, the entire segment for me was ruined. So at that point, I was thinking, man, WWE is the laziest bunch of fucking writers I have ever seen. This was not sitting well with me at all. So I was wondering who's going to be in the Gauntlet match. What the fuck are they going to do? Who are they going to bury? How are they going to fuck Kofi in the end, only to finally put him in next week, a week before WrestleMania? All these things were running through my head. And I know they were running through your head too. So we'll see what happens towards the end of the actual show. I enjoyed the segment, but that Gauntlet match announcement again, not for Kofi, but for Xavier and Big E, kind of took the wind out of this entire segment because it's been overdone. It's been done so much that the luster and the appeal of it was not interesting anymore, and the fans, they felt the same way as the reaction to it was flat. Moving on. Becky Lynch was on SmackDown Live, and I don't know why. She was legitimately there for 20 seconds, being interviewed by God knows who. They rolled off another android from the conveyor belt to interview Becky Lynch. Don't know who this person is. I know I remember seeing her in NXT, but fuck me, I don't remember her name. So we'll just call her Dasha Bot 7.3. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. So Becky Lynch is backstage. She's being interviewed. She says she brings the people. Ronnie brings the title. But then asked what the third wheel Charlotte adds to the match. Now, I called Charlotte, or I've been calling Charlotte, the third wheel for a couple of weeks now. I think a lot of people have been calling her the third wheel. So it's rather interesting to see WWE script Becky in a way in which it calls Charlotte, or they call Charlotte, the third wheel of this WrestleMania main event. Are they listening? I think so. I think they are. So Charlotte interrupts this Becky Lynch interview, which didn't need to be a thing anyway. All they could have done was interview Charlotte without Becky being there. Becky didn't need to be on SmackDown Live. I questioned why the fuck Becky's on my television if she's not doing anything pertinent to the WrestleMania main event. And here's Charlotte. She's out on the stage and she is questioning third wheel, undeserving. I'm about to show you how deserving I really am. She's in the ring, and we get a match with Asuka. Asuka's in the ring, and then we got the commentary team shocked, and the ring announcer makes this match official as a SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. Now, I don't know what you guys were thinking here, but knowing that Charlotte's in the main event of WrestleMania, I knew where this was going before that announcement was made. Soon as that was made, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. Charlotte ain't losing. Charlotte is not losing this match, a championship match, 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So we had the match. It was a damn good one. And Asuka loses the SmackDown Live Women's Championship in a great match in 18 minutes when she taps out to the figure 8. And then all of a sudden, people flooded social media, crying, bitching, moaning, complaining about Asuka is buried. Injustice to Asuka. How could they do this? Asuka should go to AEW. I heard literally everything via social media tonight. And I look at everybody, and I really believe that everybody is thinking without a fucking brain. All you need to do is take a step back and think, ponder for about 2 or 3 minutes as to why they did this tonight. The only thing you should be questioning in this situation is why they waited 2 weeks before WrestleMania to actually do this. That is the only thing you should be questioning. That is it. This should have been done a lot sooner. So let's start from the top. Why did this happen? Well, I want you guys to take a look at the state of the WWE Women's Division. And I mean both Raw and SmackDown. Are you happy with what you're seeing right now? I know I'm not. All you have on Monday Night Raw is the fucking Riot Squad. On SmackDown Live, who do you got? Lana, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose. Meanwhile, everybody else is tied up in tag teams. So WWE needs to have somewhat of a division for their tag teams, but their singles divisions right now are completely worthless. They're filled with a bunch of nobodies and women that are being fed to the top of the food chain. We don't need that. We don't need that. Ember Moon is out. She's out with injury. That weakens the division as a whole as well, which I don't think people are really, thinking about, because she's out. I don't know when she's coming back, but she's out, and she adds a lot of value to that women's division. So I want you guys to take a look at the state of the WWE women's divisions. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. With Charlotte winning the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, a thought of a unification match immediately should pop into everybody's heads, and this is a good thing for the overall health of the women's divisions. Now, everybody was questioning my original idea. Well, what do you do with Asuka? Asuka didn't deserve this. Asuka didn't even have a reign with the championship. So what? So what? You want me to be completely honest with you? Asuka was going to end up defending that title against Sonya Deville, Naomi, or Mandy Rose. If that spells WrestleMania to you, then you don't know what WrestleMania really is. Honestly, that match, whatever she was going to end up doing, would have been fucking pre-show garbage. Is that what you want for Asuka? Because I know I don't. I would rather have the title on Charlotte, and I would have them unify the fucking titles. That would be much better off for the championship and the division as a whole. Asuka was a sacrificial lamb, and you know what? This was a sacrifice that was necessary. I am okay with this, because there's no need for 2 women's championships on top of tag team championships. There is not enough women in the division to have 3 titles on both shows. It's not possible. The divisions look fucking pathetic. So if Asuka needed to be a sacrificial lamb for the greater good of the overall health of the division, this is a decision I am 100% for. And I don't understand why people are giving me and everybody else who actually think this is the right call a hard time. Simple. It is fucking simple. I don't have anything else to add on top of that. Now, what do you do with Asuka at WrestleMania? They gave her 18 fucking minutes on SmackDown Live with Charlotte. This was her WrestleMania. Asuka could be in the Battle Royal if there is even a Battle Royal for the women. I don't know what the fuck they're doing as far as the women go, but if she's in the Battle Royal, she wins the Battle Royal to pretty much make up for the fact that she had to drop the title, even though the Battle Royal means nothing. It would be a feel-good moment for Asuka. Do you know how much of a strength the women's division is going to be if both women's divisions are unified? Do you know what that means? Everybody that you've been seeing on Monday Night Raw is going to be on SmackDown Live and vice versa. This is great. Plus, Ronda Rousey will be back by the time WWE's moved to Fox Sports. You think Ronda Rousey's going to show up on SmackDown Live and be exclusive to SmackDown Live? You got to be a fucking blithering idiot if you think that. Ronda Rousey will remain on Raw. She is a show material. Even though we all know Raw is not a show, WWE would never allow Ronda to exclusively be on SmackDown Live without being on Monday Night Raw. This, merging the divisions, will allow Ronda to be on Raw and Ronda to be on SmackDown Live. This will allow Shayna Baszler, when she's called up, to be on SmackDown Live and also be on Monday Night Raw. This will also allow for the Horsewomen feud to finally take shape over the course of the next year or two, because the divisions will be merged. Do I need to explain this to you any further? Use your fucking heads. It is not that difficult to use it and come up with a logical fucking thought. This was the best decision for the Women's Championship on SmackDown Live. I would rather have it in this match on Charlotte in a unification match than have Asuka do nothing with it and defend it against someone who is undeserving of a title match. Simple. Now, yes, the fear is there. The fear is there. Being that Charlotte is the chosen one, and now she's SmackDown Live Women's Championship, I'm waiting for WWE to announce that this will be a unification match sometime within the next week and a half. Now, if Charlotte is in this match as champion and Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion and we get a unification match, how likely is it that WWE makes Charlotte the first ever unified women's champion and Becky chases Charlotte for the unified women's championship because Ronda's going away after WrestleMania all the way till SummerSlam? How likely is it of WWE to have Charlotte as the unified champion and Becky to chase her till SummerSlam to ultimately win the championship there? Because they want Charlotte to be known as the first unified women's champion. Becky will still be in the main event, but she'll get her payoff at SummerSlam. I hope to God not. The only payoff that we need to see here is Becky Lynch winning at WrestleMania and unifying those championships. Being that this match is the main event and Becky more than likely is going to win that match, I don't know how likely it is that Seth Rollins will win his match, like I mentioned on Monday Night Raw, against Brock Lesnar. Because there is no fucking way that three babyfaces are walking out of WrestleMania as new champions for their respective brands. It's not happening. It is not happening. I'm going with Lesnar to beat Rollins, I'm going with Kofi to beat Bryan, and I'm going with Becky to beat both Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. I don't know what else to tell you guys. This needs to happen. This needed to happen from the day I first mentioned it 3 years ago after the draft ended. I mentioned this word for word, and I mentioned it again right before the Royal Rumble. So whatever you guys are thinking about, oh, JD bites off this podcaster, he rips off this podcaster, blow me. I rip off no one. Go back and watch the fucking video from 3 years ago. This was my original idea when no one was talking about it. Now you all want to take fucking credit for it. I mentioned not only the women's divisions, but the tag team divisions need to be merged. They need to be floating between both Raw and SmackDown. What happened? We're on our way to having that happen. When did I say it? 3 years ago. So WWE, are you listening? I think so. Not necessarily to me, but they're listening. And they're watching and they're viewing. This is a great move by WWE to put the title on Charlotte. Great match, great result for the overall health of the women's divisions. There you go. Kurt Angle makes his way out to the ring. We have Charlotte walking out and Kurt Angle making his way to the ring. Has his match with AJ Styles. AJ Styles was backstage. He was very humble and honored to fight Kurt Angle in his last match on SmackDown Live. He understands how important this moment was, having Angle's last televised match. He said he's honored to be in Angle's last match on SmackDown. He feels privileged to have been a part of his career, and he's proud to be in the ring with him tonight. He said Angle has done more in his career than most could ever dream of, and he's not taking this match lightly. This isn't an exhibition match. He closed this entire promo by saying that Angle might have laid the foundation, but this is still the house that AJ Styles built. They hugged, they embraced in the middle of the ring. A really nice moment here for Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. This match went to a no contest in 3 minutes because WWE had Randy Orton come on out and RKO AJ Styles, ruining the entire match. The entire match was nothing but a calf crusher, and then Angle getting the ankle lock on AJ Styles. After that, Orton comes from the crowd and delivers an RKO to AJ Styles, and then Kurt Angle delivered one of the most sloppiest and ugliest looking angle slams to Randy Orton that I have ever seen. And thank God the match only went 3 minutes, because I am sick and tired of watching a blown up 50-year-old plus Kurt Angle in that ring on a weekly basis. His retirement cannot come fast enough. I'm over it. I don't know what's going on, but that was a fucking letdown. This entire thing has been a letdown from the word Corbin. I don't know what they're doing, but Angle clearly is not in shape to be in any type of match, let alone at WrestleMania. So there you go. They advertised it, 3 minutes, huge letdown, but honestly, looking at Angle and how blown up he was on Monday Night Raw with Joe, and then tonight, it was probably for the best. The announcers threw an interview to Kayla, conducted with Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic. Now, this was on WWE.com, or I believe they might have posted it on their YouTube page as well. But Dominic said Samoa Joe only cares about himself. Really? Really? Why don't you ask Mr. Samoa Joe if he cares about himself? He's been jobbing to everybody as the United States champion. So Dominic already has this false tense or this false, nature about Samoa Joe already. Don't understand it. If anybody, Joe is helping everybody else out. Rey then said he'll teach Joe a lesson in humility when he stands up for himself and his family when he becomes the United States champion. I'm wondering where the fuck Andrade Cien Almas is. That's all I give a shit about. Why isn't Andrade Cien Almas in this position? The Miz, in one of the most unbelievable, pathetic, and nonsensical segments of 2019. Miz stood in the ring, says he agrees with the fans that The Miz is awesome. He said he's usually excited about WrestleMania, but this year it's different because Shane McMahon made it all personal. Says he wants to be sure everyone in MetLife Stadium sees a close-up of him and personally destroy Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So there's the gimmick. We were all waiting for the Shane McMahon gimmick, and there's the gimmick to give Shane McMahon another reason to jump off something that's 50 feet high onto The Miz. So now he proposes a Falls Count Anywhere match. Shane McMahon comes out. No Shane McMahon to be seen. He's got 7 security guards that walk out. And then we see one of the Primo brothers, Shelton Benjamin, and all of Sanity. So I'm guessing Shane walked by catering and said, guys, I got a nice little payday for you if you want to come on out and protect me on top of the 7 security guards that I took from the independent scene. So I don't know what they were in the middle of, but apparently they didn't really like what Titus was serving tonight, so they took Shane's offer. Shane is out there, and he has ring announcer Greg Hamilton give him a proper introduction, and he said, say it with conviction. I say everything with conviction on this show, and you know it. Hamilton introduced the best in the world, Shane McMahon, with enthusiasm. Shane liked it. He didn't choke him out this week. He told Miz that security is out there for his benefit. It's to protect you from me. And he said this with a straight face. No laughing. No laughing at all from Shane McMahon. Shane says he couldn't believe Miz would want a Falls Count Anywhere stipulation, but apparently he is as dumb as his father looks. So he showed a picture of the Miz's father being choked out by Shane McMahon at Fastlane. And Shane says he put the clip on his phone of him beating up his father so he could watch it over and over and over again because it makes him happy. He said the feeling is euphoric and he's addicted to it. He accepted this stipulation and we're getting a Falls Count Anywhere at WrestleMania. He said it's the biggest Miz take since his father impregnated his mother. I'm assuming the word on puns there. It was the biggest Miz take. There you go. I didn't LOL. I didn't really laugh at all at that. I thought it was ridiculous. And then what happened after this was even more ridiculous than Shane McMahon's shitty puns. So he said it was the biggest mistake since his father impregnated his mother. Says he regrets that he didn't punish Miz's dad more for that Miz take. Miz charged at Shane. He was stopped by security. Shelton Benjamin attacked Miz. And then the Miz broke free. And this is where everything just started to get ridiculous. And I mean utterly ridiculous. Now, I'm going to quote my buddy Jesse. He texted me during this entire thing. And he says, how ridiculous is it that the king of soft style, The Miz, is being portrayed in such a manner in which he took out 7 security guards, he took out one of the Primo brothers, he took out Shelton Benjamin, and he took out all of Sanity. If there's anybody I feel sorry for, it's Sanity. This is what WWE thinks of fucking Sanity. Now, if there is a superstar shakeup, international shakeup, my God, I hope this includes main roster being promoted back to NXT. Insanity would be at the top of that fucking list. Honestly. The Miz just attacked and got through everybody. So Shelton attacked the Miz. Miz broke free, shoved Shelton into the ring post. Sanity then 3-on-1 attack. Told you it was ridiculous. Sanity with a 3-on-1 attack. Shane watching from the stage. Miz came back and fought off everybody. He drove Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf into the front row. This was designed as a tease for the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation. Miz jumped off the barricade on top of all members of Sanity. Utterly fucking ridiculous. I'm supposed to believe that a guy in the Miz who was the biggest fucking heel in the WWE is now fighting in a manner that would make Roman Reigns jealous. This was fucking sickening. WWE piques your interest and then they do everything in their power to fucking kill it. This might be an entertaining match at WrestleMania, but having the Miz fight off 13 fucking guys? I don't know who the fuck wrote that, but clearly someone should take the pen away from you immediately. That was ridiculous. So that was that. Moving on here. We got the Iconics. I wanted to fucking vomit when I seen this promo. They were so excited, I swear to God, man, I vowed to never eat any sugar ever again after this fucking promo. They excitedly said the biggest news of the night isn't about the New Day or Charlotte or Miz or Shane. It's the fact that they will be competing in the Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And you know what? You know what? I would not be shocked at all if WWE books the Iconics to walk out as Tag Team Champions. Why? Because fuck Sasha and fuck Bayley. That's why. They have done wrong with them and this division and these titles right from the word go. I would not doubt that the Iconics go into this and win the fucking tag team titles at WrestleMania. Gauntlet match time. Are you excited? I know I'm not. Xavier Woods and Big E have to run the gauntlet. First team up was Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. This ended in a minute. Remember all those news and rumors articles about the Good Brothers declining WWE contracts? Oh my God, man. You might as well hand them an AEW contract right now. I'm wearing the hoodie. Come on over, boys. I'll give you a call next week. Man, they are honestly fucking buried. You want to talk about Asuka being buried? You got the fucking term buried all wrong, motherfucker. Asuka wasn't buried. Asuka actually helped the women's division. This is what you call buried. 1 minute. That was it. They went right for the midnight hour. They didn't even see it coming. They laid on their backs. 1, 2, 3. And every time the referee's hand hit that fucking mat, Carl Anderson was thinking AEW. New Day versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Here's another guy, Nakamura, AEW bound. Is he signing a new deal? I hope not. Did we ever even fucking think this would be a possibility? 2018, he wins the Royal Rumble. He headlines WrestleMania with AJ Styles. Or what I was thinking was a headlining match. Ended up being fucking terrible. 2019, pre-show, and now a tag team with Rusev. I couldn't even conceive that at all. Back when Nakamura was doing his thing. Imagine that. Unreal. New Day beat Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura charged at Big E. Big E sidestepped him. I believe he was going for the Kinshasa. Xavier tagged in. They gave Nakamura the midnight hour, and that was it. Goodbye. Rusev and Nakamura, go back to catering where you belong. New Day then went up against The Bar. The Bar had been in all these gauntlet matches. Unreal. Xavier and Big E beat The Bar. This was the toughest match of them all. At least The Bar in all of these matches have looked somewhat decent coming out in losing efforts. So Cesaro had Big E in a half crab. Xavier was hurt on the outside. Sheamus took an extra shot out of Xavier, then leaped off the top rope. Big E ducked out of the way, gave Sheamus a power bomb. Both were very slow to get up, trying to make the tags. Xavier then eventually tagged in. Cesaro gave Xavier an uppercut out of midair and only got a 2 count out of it. The Bar then went back to dominating most of this match, and Big E yanked Cesaro off the top rope. Then Xavier rolled up Sheamus for a win, and after that, this is where things really took off. Afterwards, Sheamus and Cesaro attacked Big E. Cesaro pulled out a table from underneath the ring, set it up in the middle of the ring, and they both double powerbombed Big E through the table, and that was it. The Bar lost. Out come the Usos. So we got pretty much the same premise of the Gauntlet match last week, but this time in tag team form with Big E and Xavier Woods. I'm not enjoying this at all at this moment. I'm not. Because at this point, I'm like, of course they got to put the fucking tag team champions in this thing to lose. And then WWE surprised us all. They surprised me. They surprised you. And you know what? They did an admirable and right thing here. The New Day and the Usos didn't happen. The Usos solidified themselves from this point on, unless they leave for AEW, which they still have not signed the contract yet, and they're SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. They have solidified themselves as babyfaces for the duration of their WWE run because of what they did here tonight. So, there's no way that the New Day in this current state was beating a fresh Usos tag team. I would have raided Titan Tower and I would have burned the building down. That's how angry I would have been. So, even Graves said it on commentary. There's no way a New Day team of Xavier Woods and Big E can beat the Usos in this state. So, they cleared everything out of the ring, and my hat hit the fucking pop filter here. Because I'm fucking Italian. I move my hands all over the fucking place. You know? Gotta make it fucking lively and entertaining over here. As long as I'm not fucking EC3. Where the fuck is he at? Anyway, they cleared everything out, and Jey Uso takes the microphone, says, there's one wrestler who deserves to wrestle Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and that's Kofi Kingston. We've been to war with the New Day. Jimmy says he's already earned all of their respect. Kofi's earned the respect of everyone in that locker room. Us, we're not going to wrestle this match. In fact, we're going to forfeit. The Usos forfeited their spot in the Gauntlet match. And I tell you, man, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see that coming. But that's what I call a feel-good fucking moment, man. That's what I like. And that's what I love to see when it comes to this type of shit, man. The respect. That's what I wanted this to always be about. None of this racial bullshit, the black man versus the white man. This is what I've always wanted it to be. I'm glad that WWE stayed on course here. It's about the respect that Kofi Kingston has garnered over the last 11 years. It's about the New Day standing up for what they believe in, earning the respect from the locker room and the Usos after years of wars that those two teams have been through. Dudes, we're not going to fight you. We know Kofi's going to be there. We want no part of this. We want Kofi at Mania. We forfeit. Really, really great stuff there with the Usos and the New Day. So, one more team was left. I'm thinking, who the fuck could it be? Who could it be? The Hardys. You got Ricochet and Aleister Black, both babyface teams. Some people were texting me, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens possibly. So I don't know what the fuck they were going to do. And then all of a sudden, we got Daniel Bryan and Rowan as the last team. Now, I was immediately thinking here how much I did not like this decision. In fact, I would have loved if the Usos did what they did and everybody kind of came on out and followed suit. You know? I mentioned what that former WWE creative writer mentioned on Twitter. How everybody would have quit following the New Day, quitting the WWE because they've been fucked over so many times. The New Day quits, then everybody else quits. And Vince McMahon will be forced to put Kofi Kingston back in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I was hoping that it would have been a Hardys, or it would have been a Aleister Black and Ricochet, and they would have did the same thing that the Usos did. and everybody in the back would have just came out in protest. And Vince McMahon would have been forced to put Kofi Kingston in the WWE Championship match. But what they did here had me thinking, man, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan take a fucking loss. I don't want to see Rowan take a loss to get Daniel Bryan in this thing and have him fight Kofi. I don't want to see them fuck up. My logic here was, man, Daniel Bryan does a lot of fucking talking, calling him, Kofi Kingston, a B-plus player. He does a lot of fucking talking, does a lot of shit talking, a lot of bullshitting, a lot of agreeing with Vince McMahon during this entire thing. I don't want Daniel Bryan to go in there and lose, having himself be to blame for Kofi being in the WWE Championship match. It's one thing for a heel to insinuate. It's one thing for a heel to add fuel to the fire and just berate and just get underneath the babyface's skin. But you can't have him do that and then be the fucking cause of his challenger getting into a championship match at WrestleMania. So I'm thinking, man, what the fuck are they doing with Daniel Bryan? He should be as far away from this thing as possible. In the end, again, WWE shocked me. Shocked me. Bryan and Rowan attacked Big E. And at the end of this thing, Rowan was the legal man. They did everything that they could to make you believe Bryan was going for the big knee in the corner, or the big drop kick in the corner. Big E caught him, and he urinagied him out of the corner. Big E was set to end it all, and Rowan ended up tagging in. Rowan was the legal man. All of this transpired on the outside. Rowan then went into the steel post, and Daniel Bryan was taken out of commission by Xavier Woods. Rowan was thrown into the steel post. He got thrown over the announce table, and Big E then took the announce table and Brock Lesnar style flipped that motherfucker over on top of Rowan, who was the legal man. They got back into the ring. There was nothing that Bryan could have done about it. Referee counted 10. The New Day wins by countout, and we see Kofi Kingston in the main event, or the WWE Championship, at WrestleMania. In a feel-good moment, everybody believed, everybody was on their feet, everybody from the back came out and celebrated at ringside with Kofi Kingston. Caleb Braxton at the end of this thing, caught up with Vince McMahon, said, Kofi's at WrestleMania now, right? He was helped by the New Day in this Gauntlet match. It was impressive. She asked if this means Kofi's going to WrestleMania finally. He said now the real question is whether a B-plus player can defeat Bryan for the WWE Championship. He got in the limo and it drove off. Corey Graves then said, I think the answer might be yes. I love the ending with the Usos, and I love the ending here. I did. I loved everything here. It was believable, and they did something different where I was complaining that WWE gave us a gauntlet match, and it ended up being a feel-good moment at the end. I could have done without all the fucking Kofi jumping through the rings of fire to get into WrestleMania. I could have done without all, the bullshit that they had him go through last week, only to have it this week and him not even get into the main event for anything that he did personally. It was because of his friends. Now, I don't know what the payoff is going to be here. I mentioned this on my Monday Night Raw review. I don't know what the payoff is going to be here. Becky is my pick to win the Women's Championship. Whether they unify it or not, I don't know. That remains to be seen. So right now, we'll just say the Raw Women's Championship. Becky is going to win the main event and become the Women's Champion at WrestleMania. The payoff here is Kofi beating Daniel Bryan. That's the only thing logical I could see here. And I mentioned that I don't see three babyfaces at WrestleMania winning all of their matches. I just don't see it. Especially if you take into consideration that May 3rd is the Saudi Arabian show. I honestly feel that WWE is going to have Brock Lesnar beat Seth Rollins, have him take the title into Saudi Arabia, and drop it there. Because if Brock doesn't go into that event as the Universal Champion, who the fuck does he fight, and what is the reason of him being there? Other than to collect a paycheck. So I'm going with Lesnar to beat Rollins, and I'm going with Kofi and Becky to win their respective matches. So two of the three going into Mania winning their respective title matches. But the question is, if Kofi wins the title, how many of you idiots out there are going to say, oh, well, Kofi got robbed. He only had a title reign of a month. All you need to worry about is getting a feel-good moment at WrestleMania. And I'm sure I will reiterate this again. Kofi is going to be the WWE champion. It'll be on his resume. Former WWE champion. But if you think Kofi Kingston is going to win the WWE championship and have some CM Punk-like title reign for 434 days, you might be dumber than you think. Honestly. I don't understand how people are this stupid to think, well, Kofi's going to win the title, he's going to go all the way through the rest of the year, and he's going to be the man that they're building around. You do realize that they have a TV deal coming up in October. Kofi Kingston will not be the centerpiece of SmackDown Live going into October. He won't even have the title going into June. I'm letting you know right now. I'm letting you all know right now so that when you attack me in June, I'll be the one laughing, proving you to be a fucking idiot. Kofi Kingston is not winning the title and having a long reign with it. And Bryan didn't make Crown Jewel in November. So the timing is right for Bryan to drop the title, give it to Kofi, miss Crown Jewel, have Kofi defend it against Mustafa Ali or Kevin Owens or someone like that in Saudi Arabia, only to have Bryan win it back at Money in the Bank. I don't want to tell you I told you so, but I'm going to end up telling you I told you so come Money in the Bank in May. So get ready for it. Don't kill the messenger. SmackDown Live did what it needed to do tonight. And again, I will say, Monday Night Raw side of things is fucking pathetic. At least SmackDown Live is giving us storyline-driven wrestling. They're building WrestleMania through storylines and intrigue. Monday Night Raw, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. All I know is I could give a single fuck, or couldn't give a single fuck, about what's going on Monday nights for WrestleMania. Outside Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. That is it. I don't even give a shit about Rollins and Lesnar anymore. But SmackDown Live was and did a very good job tonight. Kofi's in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I hope you all understand that Asuka losing the championship was the right decision. And I hope that you all know when Kofi wins the WWE Championship, which is the proper payoff, that he's not going to have a CM Punk title reign. Get it through your heads. Enjoy it for what it is. The journey will end. All these rides come to an end. But this is a ride that Kofi's not going to be buying another ticket for to have happen again. So make sure you all understand that. Hit that thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video. I'm getting out of here, and I will see you all tomorrow for NXT. Now we can get a proper build with 2 weeks left to go for Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Man, thank you guys so very much. If you missed Monday Night Raw review, link is in the annotation, that little eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you guys RSVP for the Hooters meet and greet down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for your interest in this event. HOGWrestling.net. Tickets now available. Impact versus House of Glory, Sunday, May 5th. Go and get your tickets today. Make sure you guys go and get your Bonfire Elite, JD's Elite t-shirt. That is on bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video. And make sure you guys follow me on social media, man. JD from NY206, both on Twitter and Instagram. JD from New York on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here for NXT. I'll talk to you guys later.